YouTube as well. Okay. Live on both platforms. Peace and power to the YouTube. Peace and power to Instagram. Okay. Again, um, if you want, you can switch over to my YouTube channel here, where it's going to be much more clear. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. So bear with me, Instagram family. I know before I had to share my entire screen here. How y'all doing tonight? I was a little late. There we go. Yeah, I almost missed up. I was a little late because I had, you know, when children, you got to get them ready for the next day and, you know, have to make sure everything is good. So, you know, those duties come first. But I am glad to be here with you all. This is another important topic. Make sure you use that paper plane at the bottom and share with your family and friends of all ages. It doesn't matter what age, because there are young children being diagnosed with what is called juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, you have children and young adults dealing with knee challenges and spinal pain, and misalignments, and all of these different um, defenses that the body puts up based upon what we are putting in it. Again, peace and love to the YouTube family. I'm not able to see y'all in the chat, but put something in the chat, YouTube family. Put something in the chat, YouTube family. All right. All right. This is fun. I'm on both platforms. All right. So the reason why I call it the arthritis plot. Y'all run up the chat. Run up the chat. Make sure y'all, y'all have y'all questions at the end. Make sure y'all share this live right now, because this is very important for you to understand your joints, your body, really. And what I put in the caption is, there's no greater study than a study of the self. Now, I learned that wording through my grandmaster, Dan McEady. And he has his system, the angelic system. And that was the first thing that he taught us, is there's no greater study than the study of self. And the way he teaches martial arts was way beyond just the physical aspect of fighting. A lot of people think it's all physical, but it's really understanding your anatomy. So I got a lot of anatomy teaching, not just from in school with the studying that I had to do to get my certification and degree, but also with martial arts. And so he taught about the arthrology, myology, osteology, arthrology, which is the study of the joints. That's what we're focusing on today. And we needed to know different parts of the joints, of course, how to manipulate the joints, how to bring a person down to their knees, especially if they're bigger than me, so that you know how to be in and out. And so, again, going back to, there's no greater study than the study of the self. If we truly knew our arthrology, our joints, our bone structure, cartilage production, we wouldn't be duped into getting these steroidal treatments and all of these different pain drugs, or pain drugs to reduce pain, and all these other cell killing poisonous substances that only really just targets the pain, but not the actual root. So that's what we're getting into, the plot behind arthritis. It's not really a disease. Again, if you heard me yesterday, and again, peace and love, YouTube family. The first part, YouTube family, it's on my IG. So you have to go on my IG, Holistic Hope. That's with a W. And that's when you can pull up the recording there. All right. So if you go on, if you heard me yesterday where I talk about that, diseases are really the body's defense mechanisms. Really, it's not the body attacking you, but really trying to work with you to protect itself. It's like a rose bush that has thorns. It doesn't want to be picked, but it has thorns to protect itself. It's the same thing with any kind of animals that uses different techniques to protect themselves. Okay, so we have to begin to change our mindset, reconstruct the mind, that these are not diseases, but really the body's way of defending itself. So that called that all of this that we're talking about today, that includes all of the arthritic conditions, that's gout, that's rheumatoid arthritis, where they claim that the body is attacking itself. That's what they claim, that arthritis and all of its conditions are autoimmune diseases. And if you see my videos on my page where I talk about, is it really an autoimmune disease, or is it auto intoxication? Autoimmune disease or auto intoxication. So that's what we're going to be getting into tonight, family. YouTube, we up. Instagram, let's share that. Let's get in. Let's we already into it, but let's make it do what it do. All right. Instagram family, I need a thumbs up if you can see this. Screenshot it if you have to, so you can save this information. YouTube family, I know you can see it because it's very, very clear. But again, if you want to head over to YouTube, it's much more clearer and, much more, clearer. Okay. So put some thumbs up in the chat if you can see this, even if you can see the small words. Good, good, good. Again, don't forget to share this live. Good thing I have water this time. All right. So good. Sarah S. Jean, I see you. Shell Bell 2, I see you. Pamela McGee, I see you. All right. YouTube family, I'm not able to see the comments. I don't have another device really to see, what y'all chatting about, but I'll see it after. Make sure y'all have your questions and everything lined up after. All right. So let's get it going. All right. Is arthritis an age-related disease? Okay, so when we think of arthritis, we think of people in their older age, because after a while, and what we've been taught, that there's such a thing called age-related diseases, that it's inevitable. Once you turn 40, 50, in your 60s, it's inevitable that you're going to have some kind of joint pain, back pain, high blood pressure, cholesterol. What all of that is, based upon what they call age-related diseases. But is arthritis really an age-related disease? So let's get into it. All right. So let's really get into breaking down the root words. Okay. So that's what's going to help you understand this entire plot more and really help you understand your body. Okay. So we talked about, we're going into the arthrology system, which is the study of the joints. Arthrology is the study of the joints. Arth means joint, ology, study of. And the same thing with arthritis, joint-itis, inflammation. So again, that's not naming the root, that's naming the effect. That's not naming the root cause of your pain. It's naming the effect. And the effect, which is the pain. So really, it's about really just treating the effects. Okay. So we're going to get into the root. We're going to get into it. Arth, joints. Arth equals joints, itis equal inflammation. So how does this develop? It develops due to wear and tear on the joints, being overweight, lack of movement, sedentary lifestyles. For those who work office jobs, who sit down all day, make sure you pay attention to this. Lack of flexibility and poorly healed fractures. Okay, so that's for those who've had poorly healed fractures. As an athlete, in your younger years, or just anything when it comes to any kind of accident. So that can also play a role in what they call arthritis. Okay. Arthritis is considered an autoimmune disease based upon, the medical infrastructure. They consider this an autoimmune disease, which is a theory. Let's just stop right there. It's a theory. We have to separate theories from facts. Okay. So autoimmune disease is a theory. Okay. Make sure y'all jot that down. Okay, we relearning here. We're unlearning and we're relearning, and everything that I'm saying to you right now is nothing that you don't already know. And that's what took me a little while to get on here, because I knew it. I know this in my mind. And when I'm going back in the books, and I'm revisiting all of these different, studies from, and I'm reading, and I'm like, I know this. So my job is to teach it in a way where you can absorb it, easy. Where I'm literally talking to my daughter while I'm doing it. She's asking me, "What's this? What's arthritis?" So I'm talking to her and teaching her. So the best way to practice teaching is to teach it to a child, because that way, I'm making it simple. Simple. That's it. Like peace and love, King Simon, like he says, keep it simple. Okay. All right. So point 2, arthritis is considered. Oh, wait, we already said that. All right. Remember that a theory that the body is attacking its own cell. That's what the autoimmune disease is a theory that the body is attacking its own cells. Remember that for later. Okay. Remember that. Point 3, okay, usual treatments may include corticosteroids, people getting those shots, those knee or injections in the site where the pain is. It could be the shoulder, it could be the knees. All right. And this can include also they're prescribing non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs as well, which can include ibuprofen. Let's hide this right here. Motrin, Advil, naproxen, which is Aleve, iclofenac, Voltaren, and other cytotoxic treatments, other cell toxic treatments. Okay, things that are damaging to the cell. All right. So let me change it here. Let me know if y'all see this one here. All right. Like I said, I had to resize these photos just for you, Instagram family, just for you. All right. Now, don't laugh at my drawing. All right. I did the best that I could, because I'm jotting, I'm writing, and I'm like, I gotta explain it in a way where it's a sequence where I can make it so simple for you to understand the inner workings of your immune defense system. And the reason why I use those together is because we say immune, right? That's the term that we know it as, but then the defense comes right after, because that's what it really is. It's your defense system. So let me know if y'all can see that good, right? Y'all can see the drawing. Y'all can see my Picasso drawing. Y'all can see that, okay? I need that thumbs up. I need that eye emoji. YouTube family, I know you're doing good there. I know you can see it. YouTube family, again, it's pinned. If you want to go on my YouTube to watch this, Holistica, the Master Iridologist, go ahead and tap in over there. Thank you all for joining in so far. Appreciate you. And again, don't forget to share this live. Cool. Yes, Shell Bell too. I appreciate you. You are tapped in. All right. So point 1 here. Autoimmune disease or auto intoxication. Okay. So what I mean by that is the way how we interpret or autoimmune disease is interpreted is somehow the body is capable of attacking itself due to some kind of mistake, due to some kind of lack of intelligence. That's like I'm trying to make a analogy. It's like, you have an army, here, and then you have an army there. And this army is supposed to protect this temple. And so because it doesn't know, it's like, oh, I don't know which one. It begins to attack the very temple that it's built, it's put in place to protect. That's the best way that I can put it. So how can the body lack that much intelligence to where it's attacking itself when the human body is the most intelligent creation above, machines and all of these things that we depend on for disease detection. Okay, so and then auto intoxication, the difference between that, auto intoxication means that Self. Auto means self. Remember, auto means self-intoxication. We are poisoning ourselves with the eating, the way we think, the lack of movement, which we'll get into later on. All of that plays a role in how we intoxicate ourselves. And over time, the cell has to respond. That's like if somebody hits you, what you going to do? What are you going to do when someone hits you? Right? You're gonna react. You're triggered. You become triggered, and so you put your guards up, like you and that is what your immune defense system is doing. Okay, so look at the triggers. I put a question mark near the trigger because we have to get into what these triggers are that's triggering this pain response in the joints, which they call arthritis. Okay, we have to go through the whole thing. All right, so you see here my drawing, YouTube family, you see my mouse cursor on the picture. Instagram family, look at the picture where it says infected cell, right, with the red dots. So first it starts with the trigger. Something is put into the body, right, that triggers a response. So then now you have the trigger here, then you have the infected cell, right? So let's think of what's the most common area that people deal with arthritis? Knees. So let's think of the cells in your knee, right? It's infected. So now you have to have these T cells come into play, right? Where they have special properties where they try to kill these infected cells, and then they make antibodies, which was in large quantities, which helps to stop the infection from occurring, right? So again, pain again is a response that the body uses to not alert you, but also it's part of the lymphocyte process. All of that, which it comes from macrophages and neutrophils and all of that, that helps to neutralize this attack. Okay. Then you have your B cells. Your B cells is only activated by the T cells first. So the B cells now, YouTube family, you see my cursor here. The B cells, you have your regulatory B cells will remain in a particular region of the body due to repeated exposure. But first, antibody production increases dramatically. So when you have any kind of infection, you have to have a lot of these cells in the lymphocyte family to come there to aid in the attack. And while it's like being in a war, right? So the body is literally in a war. So think of two systems fighting against each other, and you have all after the war or everything the war is going on, it's a lot of pain, a lot of bloodshed, right? It's a lot of debris everywhere from because wars destroy temples. So now all of that is the pain. That's where the pain response is. So then now you're going to have these things called memory B cells, which again, they remain in a particular region of the body due to repeated exposure. So that's what they say the autoimmune disease is that these cells stay there because it's a constant repeated offense. I'm going to say that again. It's a constant repeated offense. So that's like if you have a bully that's in your class, you're not going to sit there and smile at him all like after he's bullied you. If he's bullied you multiple times, you're going to be on a defense because it's a repeated attack. So now you have to stay in a specific zone in order to be ready. That's what these cells do. But this is called in their efforts to try to attack this area is called autoimmune. Okay, let me know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying so far. Let me know, put a thumbs up, because this is one of the most important parts for you to understand the workings of the internal body. And it's not just the joint area. This is happening in many different areas of the body. It's the tonsils, the spleen, the thyroid, all of that. All of this has this kind of immune response when there's some kind of toxication going on. Let me know if you understand what I said, and I broke it down to where it's so super, super clear for you. YouTube family, y'all could put it up as well. Where's my book here? Hold on one sec. All right, cool. All right. Sometimes it's tough because you never know if you're just if I'm talking to myself or y'all are on board. All right. That's important. I want to, use different lingo and all of these different things that can confuse you. So this is what's going on at the site of inflammation. That's what inflammation is. Inflammation is your military system, right? Which is your white blood cells at alert to help you and aid you in what's happening to the body. Okay. So that is the best way that I could put it. All right. We're gonna go to the next one. All right. Let's see here. Let me know if y'all enjoying this so far. Let me make sure that is the next one. All right. All right. We good. You Instagram family, I believe we're good. We're gonna keep going on. YouTube family, I know we good. All right. All right. So what time is it? Yeah, now. We've been live for okay, cool. All right. Arthritic conditions is one of your body's defense mechanisms. Okay. Arthritic conditions is one of your body's defense mechanisms. I want you to remember that. Nothing is happening to you, but always there to teach you something. Okay. Everything is based on cause and effect. Okay, so whatever what we've done or whether it's environmental, um, whatever happened in the past is going to reflect as an effect on the body. Okay, so when we attack it with drug medications, pain reducing medications, that takes away the mindset that this is a body defense mechanism, but rather than something that we need to get rid of. Okay, somebody said, hoping that you're well. How to decrease or stop inflation in the body? Okay, I'm gonna get to that. All right, save your questions. We're gonna save your questions. All right, but just make sure you put it. Oh, inflammation. Yeah, I was like inflation. We're gonna get to that. The solutions is at the end. All right, so let's go. YouTube family, how y'all doing? I trust y'all all right. I can't see a thing on that side. All right, the pain from what is called arthritis stems from what? A lot of people know this, lack of cartilage, which is a connective tissue acting as a cushion for the joint and the bone. So every time you flex your knee, I'm sorry, I moved that. Every time you flex your knee, right? Especially the more you flex it, you increase synovial fluid, and all with there's no pain. That's where the cushion is, which is that cartilage in between the joints, which is those two bones here in the knee area. Okay, that meets the knee area. All right, and that's even in the spine as well. We're not just talking about the knee. We're focused on the knee because that's the most part that people have complaints of. But it could be the shoulder. We're talking about the lower back, the spine. Even the upper spine, the mid spine, the hips, right? A lot of people complain about hip pains. That's where the hip replacements and knee replacements come into play. All right. So this is for those who are in a specific age group or have never had these kind of procedures. Make sure that you save this live and you apply it, because this is how you save yourself from these unnecessary surgeries, such as knee replacements or hip replacements, only if it's necessary based upon another ailment that you may have had. Okay. All right. So in order to maintain healthy cartilage, adequate synovial fluid must be present. This thick fluid contains minerals such as calcium and phosphorus. Okay. How many people who in our efforts, we try to take some kind of calcium outside of ourselves, like, and I have to say, beginning, I've been guilty of that. If someone came to me and said, hey, I have challenges with my joints, what can I do? Oh, take some calcium. Calcium is not the answer. Taking calcium, whether it's a tablet, liquid form, is not the answer, because the body is already, it already produces that. And you also get it through the foods you eat, which is rich in with foods rich in calcium, rich in vitamin K. Again, we'll get into that during the solutions. So taking calcium like in a tablet form is not necessary, because why? It's not going to be cell available if the body is constantly under inflammation or has a lot of inflammatory markers in that specific zone. Okay, so it's going to be fruitless if you take some kind of calcium supplement. All right, inflammation occurs when the cartilage producing cells, chondrocytes, okay, under inflammatory conditions, chondrocytes increase production levels of inflammatory cytokines and cartilage degrading enzymes, which further drive cartilage destruction. The chondrocytes has to be triggered first by invader pathogens. Chondrocytes are lessened, thereby lessening the production of cartilage. No cartilage, no cushion, and poor synovial fluid production. So that pain that you feel, if you're dealing with this right now, that pain that you feel is bone on bone, right? Because the cartilage has completely depleted. But you have cells present in your body called chondrocytes that produce the cartilage on its own when the body is in its healthy state. Now, I know your question is, how can I increase chondrocytes? How can I get that in an increase so that I can build my cartilage naturally again? Okay, that's important. All right, that's the key here. All right, then you have again the am I skipping ahead? Am I skipping ahead? Okay, I think I might be. No, I'm not skipping ahead. I'm right. Let's go to the second point. In order to maintain healthy cartilage, synovial fluid must be present, which already contains calcium and phosphorus. So we have to find out why this calcium and phosphorus has stopped production. We're connecting the dots here. All right. We have to find out why it has stopped production. Instead of attacking the effect, we're going to the cause. All right. Let's see. Wait. I skipped ahead. Ignore that. There we go. I think this is it. I think that is it. All right. So as far as, I believe I put that on the last slide. Let's gather the thoughts. So as far as the cutoff of calcium production, we talked about low cartilage production and no cartilage left, especially for those who deal with severe lower back pain, any kind of shoulder pain, any kind of hip pain, knee pain, any of that is due to everything that we discussed thus far. Okay. And what happens is when the lower the calcium is, this is where it comes into play. This screen right here, let me know if you can see it. All right. Let me know if you can see it. Water time. All right. All right. Arthritis isn't just one disease. It is one name for over 100 disorders of the human body. This is just naming a few. It is one name for over 100 disorders of the human body. So is your doctor, when it comes to arthrology and osteology, are they going to say, hey, let's not focus just on the joints. Let's focus on the adrenal glands. I have to recommend you to go to an endocrinologist. We have to recommend you take a liver panel test, because it could be something with your liver, your thyroid, right? Which calcium is produced in the parathyroid glands, right? Can we look at the pancreas? See, it's an injection shot. And again, this is not putting down again, we have to say that we're not putting down medical infrastructure. This is what they've been taught. Okay, so it's up to you to teach yourself to remember. See, you're remembering. All of you on this live, you're remembering. You know this already. You have this body. You know it. I'm just helping you with the recall and the retention. So it's here for you to remember, recall, and retain this information again, so you know how to move forward in your life. All right. So arthritis isn't just one disease. Hey, YouTube family, I've been looking up. I'm looking at y'all now, right? Arthritis isn't just one disease. It's one name for over 100 disorders of the human body. All right. So adrenal glands, let's talk about it. All right. Adrenal gland fatigue, adrenal gland fatigue. And that deals with those who deal with excessive anxiety, worry. You worry a lot. Poor stress management, meaning that most people, we have 9-to-5 jobs. We come home and we got to cook, we got to clean, we got to do all these different things. By the time we go to bed, we just flop. So we don't really have any kind of practices where we're maintaining a healthy nervous system. We don't have any kind of practices where we're maintaining or adapting to our environment, where we're succumbing to it. All right. So adrenal glands, hyperadrenal glands, that's what we just referred to, produce excess secretion of glucocorticoids, which is a hormone in the AC, adrenal cortex, for stress response. This excess secretion lowers your immune defense system, which can lead to arthritic conditions. Okay. That a lot of people I know that they say stress, what? Lowers your defense immune system, right? So this is just going into, we looked at the cell aspect of it, what happens in the body when you have a worry thought? What happens in the body when you have a fear thought? What happens in the body when you're overly stressed? Think about that. And that cell picture of that sequence that I showed you all, this is what's happening in the body. It's more than what's you think going on in your mind, but more so what's happening on an internal level. You're putting your body through war when it doesn't need to be. So now when the body needs that help, put some thumbs up Instagram, because I have a low battery and then I have to, it just did something. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. We're plugged up. We're not going to die, and this live will be saved. So don't worry. I've had issues with that before, letting my phone die. All right. So what happens? Adrenals, fight or flight response, right? When we get terrified, literally, anxiety is it's a terrifying feeling, because anxiety is about worrying about something that didn't happen, right? Or wondering if it could happen, right? So that's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough for my mortgage, and I don't know if I'm gonna have enough for my rent. Oh my God. So it never happened yet, but you're worried about it. And not only is it affecting the mental and emotional aspect, but it's affecting your immune defense system, where now you are creating an infected cell. You're creating infection, where now that infection is triggering the lymphocyte response, your military response. So in other words, your body is going to war because of the thought. That's why I even teach my clients, my students, they know that your thought, you have to be mindful of your thought patterns, especially in this time, because while the veil is so thin right now, whatever you think, it comes very quickly. So if you think that you're not going to do something, you can't do something, well, that's exactly what's going to happen. All right. So we have to be mindful of that. And not only that, on a physical level, the body is responding with your adrenal glands. Your kidneys become weakened. Okay. So that's how I'm able to tell people's personality when I look in their iris. Okay. When I look at the nervous system, the adrenal glands, I already know, I could see into that person's life. All right. There was a lab study that was done on animals, right, in response to stress. right? So, they do a lot of they do a lot of studies on mice, and they did a study on their physiological system. And they found that the stress showed enlarged adrenal glands, which which they then developed arthritis and many other conditions. And they didn't say which animals was used. We know the usual was rats, but they use other animals too. So they put these animals in, like, stressful conditions, stressful environments, small cages, where it's a bunch of them, and then they can study how this effect one leads to the next. And like Sarah S. Jean said, yes, everything is interconnected, nothing is separate. So there's something happening on one aspect of the human body. We have to find out what that's connected to. It's not just localized to that one area, but it's the whole. All right. Make sure you notate that. All right. Next, liver, gallbladder, thyroid, pancreas disease. All right. Calcium is a messenger that regulates multiple liver functions, including fat and carbohydrate metabolism. That's your cholesterol. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Make sure you tap in tomorrow for that. All right. As well as bile secretion. When there isn't enough calcium availability due to its need for the liver, the gallbladder, the thyroid, and pancreatic functions, the joint areas become robbed, eventually leading to chronic pain in that specific joint area. So what happens is the body is so intelligent. First off, I forgot to name a few other areas that indicate that or connected to arthritis. That's the gut, right? The gut. And also, I would say the gut, and it's going to come to me. All right. So what happens is, the nervous system, right? Okay. The nervous system needs calcium as well. So what happens is that the body operates where it has to have a certain level of minerals in that area to function at its optimum level. Once a specific area, as such as importance as the liver, right, becomes low on a specific mineral, it's going to rob what the body has to deem its emergency response, rob it from a area where it really in trying in its desperate attempt to save itself will rob it from the joints, which is an area where they don't deem it as important as the liver, as important as the thyroid, because thyroid is it regulates your temperature, your metabolism, your hormonal system when it comes to your sex hormones as well. So you need all of that flowing. So in order to keep that going, it has to rob it from the joints, from the bones. And that's where you find your pain in your lower back areas. If that's where the pain site is, you find it in your knee area, your joints, pinching nerves. All of that is included in those different aspects of relating arthritic pains to these organs. So this is the focus, family. This is the root. All right. And now we're going to go into the triggers. All right. We're going to go into what's triggering this response. What's triggering this response? We must recognize what triggers an inflammatory response. All right. I've been talking for a while. So let's get the comments up. Put some ones in the chat, Instagram family. Put some ones in the chat. Don't forget to save and share. Well, share this live. You're going to save it after. But don't forget to share this live. Okay? YouTube family, where you at? Put some eye emojis in the chat for me. All right? Let me know you are getting this information. You're taking notes. Okay? Especially for someone in your family that may be dealing with this kind of issue. You can help them. You don't need to be, quote unquote, a doctor to help someone else. This is simply put, that it's not something that just miraculously happens. It's based upon an inflammatory response by the innate intelligence of the cells in your body. But what is triggering this inflammatory response, you ask? Number one, meats. All right. Those who deal with gout, I find those who deal with gout, those who deal with other arthritic conditions and other arthritic autoimmune conditions have a high meat protein diet, high in uric acid and ammonia, whew, triggering a defense response by sending your military cells to combat the inflammation. Dairy products produces the same auto intoxication response. So what I would say to you, family, for those who have lived a lifestyle where this is all you know, right? I'm talking to those that this is all you know. You've been eating a certain way all your life. All right. What I do with my clients, I don't just shock the system and say, you got to stop doing this at once or else. No, we start little by little, right? You start changing your condiments that you use. Instead of the high fructose, ketchups and all of it, you start changing those, right? You start eating, counting certain days where you are going to eat certain meats, right? So if you eat meat every day, okay, let's make it an intentional thought that instead of eating meat every day, I'm going to eat meat maybe now starting 4 or 5 days a week. This is just for the person that really has no knowledge of this at all, right? Then you lessen it and you lessen it and lessen it. And then until you prepare your body for the kind of detox that once you get your iridology, I will help you with. Okay. And I suggest anyone dealing with anyone dealing with any of this, what we talked about, a minimum really of 3 to 4 months of a no meat diet. I'm talking about the meats like beef, pork, really no pork at all. I don't ever suggest pork ever, not even in its minimal state. Okay. So beef, pork, chicken, any kind of like turkey, any of those meats should be avoided for that time period. All right, if you really want to reverse this. Okay. Sugar robs the body of vital minerals such as calcium, causing blood coagulation, hardening, right? Hardening. What happens when the bone on bone? It's hard. There's no blood flow, right? Promoting oxidative stress. Okay, where there's no blood flow, less oxygen. Okay, stress management. All right, stress management. Pay attention to this. Learning spiritual practices to relax the nervous system and adrenals. Spiritual practices are not an option, it is a necessity for the maintenance of your mental and emotional health. I'm going to say that again. Spiritual practices are not an option, it is a necessity for the maintenance of your mental and emotional health. Like I love what Reverend Knight said. He said that line. That's where I actually got it from. Spiritual practice are not an option. He said, if you don't practice, you will suffer. And that's what anxiety is. Lack of spiritual practices, things to calm yourself, whether it's meditation, right? Something that makes you happy, something that keeps you grounded into something, a routine, right? And this it like how I have some of these things that you can do, right? But meditation is one, right? Waking up and having an intentional thought of how you would like your day to go, but also understanding and witnessing of the mind that if it doesn't go exactly perfect, that's still okay. With also having certain affirmations that today is a miraculous day. Miracles are happening for me today. Things like that. Okay. But again, you have to have time with yourself, no matter what you deem as, oh, I'm so stressed, because we already tied in arthritic conditions with hyperadrenal glands. Okay. So you have to have some kind of spiritual practice. If you're interested in my program, Detox with Iridology, level 1 and level 2, I help you with that. Okay. Incorporate that into your daily lifestyle until you make it your own. I mean, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just helping you open a door to your own spirit guide that's constantly there, always there with you. But again, we're so disconnected from self. Okay, so it's time to get more connected. All right, get up and move that body. Yes, that, I mean, aside from the food, that is it, family. Stagnancy. Okay, you see here, stagnancy equals death. Nothing stays still. Nothing stays still in nature. Everything is constantly moving. So you got to get up, you got to move that body. Movement is medicine. All right. It doesn't have to be an hour run or an hour walk, whatever it is, 30 minutes. I have this little watch here that tracks like my steps and my miles. And honestly, I can say that it builds up your confidence. Like, okay, yesterday I got 3,000 steps in and I'm going to do better tomorrow. That gives you something to look forward to, right? So I suggest, if you want, get you a little Fitbit or something where you're tracking your steps, your miles, so that you know how much movement and activity that you're doing per day. All right. So movement is medicine. You should be active on a daily basis, whether it's a walk, biking, swimming. Where my swimmers at? I just learned how to swim a year and a half ago. Okay, I'm hyped. So I can't wait to get into the pool again. I learned at almost 30 years young. So where my swimmers at that haven't swimmed in months, right? Go to a local YMCA, go to a local gym that have a pool in it, and get in the water, because swimming is a full body exercise. You're working everything. You're working the abs, you're working the arms, you're working the legs. Whoo! All right. So get into that. Dancing, right? Dancing, whether it's in your home, whether you sign up for a salsa class, they got in certain areas, they have like places where you can, learn salsa, uh, uh, different forms of dancing arts, ballet. They have adult ballet, and keep your children in these things as well, so that they know the power and importance of movement. Okay. Remember, stagnancy equals death. Okay. So when you move the body, you move the mind too. Because if you're one of those in the audience and you're saying, I don't know, my energy, I can't even get up the thought to even move my body. Well, it's the lack of minerals in the brain that acts as a conduit to feed the nerves in the brain cells of that area where you're not as tired, and when your tiredness is not defeating you. So now you got to put good food in your body, like chlorella. That boosts the energy. Anything green, really, your greens, and not overly cooked, not steamed, right? I'm talking fresh kale, dandelion green juices, mustard greens, and turnip greens, and all of those greens that help, and which is also high in vitamin K. All right. Athletes, for my athletes, okay? Joint protection is key. All right. Joint protection is key. Applying cold therapy post workouts, like taking like those ice cold baths, or even if just ice in the knee, or ice in wherever you experience the most force. Higher intake of foods, high in antioxidants. You need more. We need more than the average person. So especially training, working out, go to the gym at least 5-6 times a week. So I constantly need more, because even I notice I was experiencing some kind of knee pain in my left knee. And that's because I run a lot. So especially for my runners, and especially women, if you're a woman and you run, you have to make sure that you take more antioxidants, because we are the main ones that deal with osteoarthritis after 60 years of age for my women athletes. So we have to make sure that we protect our joints with good eating habits, thought habits, and all of these things as post-workout remedies, okay? Stretching sessions, longer stretching sessions, right? A lot of people don't like to stretch, but stretching is key. That gets the synovial fluid moving, right? If you try to work out and you didn't stretch, come on, you're gonna feel it. You know you're gonna feel it. It's gonna hurt during the workout and after. So you make sure you stretch, all right? Yoga movements, right? And knee extension machines. So those machines where you have the knees go, your legs go up and down. It's a knee extension machine at the gym specific for that. So those are really good, are excellent as a recovery from a high powered workout. Also, I forgot to put in there tart cherry juice, very high, and it's an anti-inflammatory drink. For those who's dealing with severe knee pain, you really need 1 cup a day, but I would, get at least 12 ounces of tart cherry juice a day. You can dilute it, or you could drink it straight up. Lakewood Organics has a really good tart cherry juice. So any kind of cherries, really, all your darks, right? All of your dark berries, right? Which is high in antioxidants, polyphenols, um, helpful for the blood, helpful for any kind of inflammatory response. Okay, so someone said gut connection, please. Yes, I'm gonna get into that. Okay, so that's what you want to focus on when it comes to the berries, or the dark the dark fruits, berries, whatever. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, as far as Sarah S. Jean, gut arthritis connection. Okay, I forgot to put that in the um the presentation. But what happens is, in the when you're eating a certain, all of these foods that we're stating, right? The meats, the sugar, constantly processed foods. All right, you have specific bacteria that's lined in the gut already. You have an intestinal immune system. Think of it that way. You have an intestinal immune system that's constantly on alert as well. So if you're constantly fighting in a specific area when it comes to the gut, right, then you're not able to transmit through the blood that calcium to that specific joint area, which produces the cartilage producing cells, where all of that stops in production based upon the constant fight that the gut has to go through in order to maintain its healthy intestinal flora. Okay, so those who have, I find that those who have constant um, constipation, bouts with colon polyps, Crohn's disease, colitis. Um, there's another one, another inflammatory, all of those inflammatory bowel disease, arthritis is not too far from it. Okay. Arthritis is not too far from it. All right. So again, the body is constantly trying to maintain its homeostasis. All right. It's constantly trying to maintain its natural, good microbiome. What's coming in to attack it? We already went over the triggers, some of the triggers. Okay. You have to learn how to recognize your triggers, what triggers your inflammatory response. Yes, have to balance that gut flora. Those who deal with arthritis, some kind of constipation, especially within the large intestine. All right. And you find those who deal with a lot of arthritis have a larger gut too, especially in the lower area. They have like this gut that protrudes. And anytime you have the gut that protrudes in that way, that's all that waste sitting there. Fermentation sitting there, right? And then we didn't go over also the lower the lower joints, the lower extremities are there and put into place. The lower skeletal system is there put into place to hold the body up. So when you're overweight, or if you're a certain height and you're a certain weight and you're holding more weight than you should, you're putting a lot of pressure on your knees. So that's where if you need, I come into play to help you to, isn't you're not losing the weight, losing the waste. And think of it this way: every pound that you lose is a pound of emotional weight that you've been carrying for years and years. I want you to think of it that way. You know how happy people feel when they lose the weight, because it's not just, oh, I look good. It's It's all here. This is crowded. It's all flustered. So once you start losing the weight, that's where we tap into the spiritual weight loss. You start to lose the weight of this, of what's been dragging you down. Okay, so that's important. All right. Let's see here. Let me know if y'all can see that. Instagram family, YouTube family, how are you doing? Up. Hold on. YouTube family, give me 1 second. Okay. Y'all can see this. All right. Peace and love. Peace and love. Y'all can see this. Good evening, Naturally She 360. Start asking your questions. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. All right. All right. So a lot of this stuff, a lot of this that I learned over time, I learned through my clients, the people that are, that are attracted to my energy, because and I'm attracted to them. Because when you have a client, your clients become your teachers, right? So you guys, you teach me with all of the different cases that you come to me with. And so I learn a lot by examining and seeing what the average person is going through and its connection. Arthritis is never one single disease or dis-ease or pain, or, it's always something else that is the root of it. And we went over that. All right. So some solutions. Here's some solutions, y'all. Come on. I talked about the certain foods that help. Foods high in vitamin K, high in calcium, right? All your cruciferous vegetables, what you need to avoid, and then how start somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect, but start somewhere. Start, if you don't have a juicer, invest in a juicer. Start juicing once a day, right? One green juice here, watermelon juice here. Well, watermelon season is over, y'all, but grape juice, Concord grapes are in season, y'all. You see how dark them babies are? And they are so good. I just juiced some yesterday. I juiced Concord grapes and regular red seeded globe grapes together. It's so good. So the benefits of Concord grapes, it goes on to high in antioxidants, helpful for the blood, helpful for the lymphatic system, because all of this ties into that. It's so much that the dark, all of those melanated berries, melanated fruits are good for. Okay, so that's what you constantly want to keep in your arsenal. All right. So herbs that are helpful. All right, here's some solutions. Herbs that are helpful. YouTube family, how you doing? All right. I trust y'all can see this. I know y'all can see this. All right. Instagram family, I see y'all. Thank y'all for staying on. How long we've been on? We about to hit the. Ooh, all right. All right. Willow bark, nature's aspirin. All right. Willow bark is nature's aspirin. Okay. So matter of fact, a lot of these herbs that you see, a lot of these herbs that you see are some are made from the medications that we take, that people take, are made from these herbs. Like Advil and Tylenol it started from the willow bark, and they just went on and did other crazy things with it in their own lab. But yeah, all of your pharmaceuticals have some kind of connection to the herbal family. All right. So again, why not go to the source? So willow bark is nature's aspirin. All right. You could take it alone, or it's best to take it with other herbs, because I call willow bark a supporting herb. So when you're putting like herbal blends together, all my herbalists know that one herb alone, certain herbs alone, is not enough to get the job done. Right. So there's certain herbs that is the main character, and then there's other herbs that's the supporting cast. Okay. So willow bark is a supporting cast. Yucca root is one of the main characters, right? It prevents inflammation and stops circulation of toxins to the joints. Prevents inflammation and stops circulation of toxins to the joints. Okay, very important. Devil's claw, pain reducer. Turmeric relieves pain similar to steroidal drugs. Okay, how many of y'all getting them steroid shots in your back, in your shoulder blades, and your hips and your knees? All right. Adding turmeric to your daily diet, whether you're adding it to your foods, your soups, your organic rices and or quinoa and all of that. It helps to reduce the inflammation if you're adding it to your foods on a daily basis. All right. Ginger. We know a lot of people know about ginger. Ginger is very powerful. Very, very powerful root. Stops production of inflammatory toxins. Stops the production. Okay. And then basil helps combat and reduce inflammation. You can find all of these herbs I put together in my anti-inflammation blend and butter. I do have a salve, a butter, which you can apply to your joints, your knees, your hips, your back area, wherever the pain is, where those herbs in that butter absorb into the body and helps with the that pain site. Okay, so that's just a reliever there. You find it on my website. All right, and then the last is the liver flush kit. I find that those who deal with have gallbladder issues, dealing with also cholesterol, high blood pressure, heart issues, gut issues, all tie into the liver. Okay, when those ducts, those hepatic or bile ducts are blocked, you don't have enough bile secretion. Not enough bile secretion equals poor digestion. And that's where your acid reflux comes into play. How many people deal with acid reflux and arthritis? Same, one and the same. So we have to focus on the liver too. And I actually have such an interest in really constantly going super deep into the liver and its many relations to the entire human body. So you're going to hear me talk about many different conditions and its ties to the liver. All right. So you can find the liver flush kit, which comes with everything you need to flush your liver, your gallbladder of any kind of stones, waste that's compacted in there, so that you can free up, that hardening, that blockage, so that your other bodily functions can presume the way it should or resume the way it should. All right. All right. So, oh my gosh, almost forgot. Now, for those who's on YouTube, Juice Plus. All right. Y'all heard me talk about this so many times. And I don't just be up here talking and, take this, take that. No, I'm really showing you the proof. Okay. Juice Plus, I mean, they have like over 48 clinical studies proving that it helps with specific conditions. And one of them is inflammation. So YouTube family can see it. You can copy this study. You can copy it, take a screenshot, right? Take a screenshot of the study, family, on Instagram as well, and put it in on your search bar on your phone. All right. It shows that systemic inflammatory load in humans is suppressed by consumption of 2 formulations of dried encapsulated juice concentrate. So they're talking about the Juice Plus. And I've had many of my clients, my students, after taking the Juice Plus, they've not only had regular bowel movements, but less inflammation. Okay, so this is not us just coming up here. I'm coming up here and saying, we actually have the studies to back it up, plus personal stories that went through my program, went through my iridology consultation, that have actually put this into play. So for those who's interested in the Juice Plus, I am going to put something in the chat for my Instagram people. DM me Juice for the link. Okay, DM me juice for the link. All right. DM me juice for the link for your Juice Plus. It's free for children 4 years old and up to college students up to 25 years young. Juice. Okay, make Sarah S. Jean, make sure you DM me so that I can send you the direct link. All right. Make sure y'all DM me, YouTube family. Make sure you put in the chat juice. And also, if you know if you don't want your email out there, but you can email me. I'll take my email down. It's info@holisticcapalace.com. I'll also put that in the YouTube chat, but it's info@holisticcapalace.com. Just email me, and we'll get you set up and get your order to you of this. It's literally raw food in a capsule. That's it. Nothing else. Raw foods in a capsule. Omegas, which is from the source, not fish. Okay, so you got your sea algae in there, raspberry, pomegranate seed oil, all of that is in there. All right. So that is it. Oh, wait, am I still sharing? YouTube family? Let me stop sharing. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. We're gonna stop sharing. All right. We're gonna stop sharing. Okay, cool. On YouTube. All right, cool. We're gonna stop sharing here too. All right. Let's do this way. Okay. All of these emails coming. Please stop it. All right. So what y'all think? How y'all feeling after this live? Do you feel a power that you didn't know before? And you didn't know that you had this divine military system inside of you that when it's triggered is going to go to bat for you. And what you term dis-ease, right? What you term, or what the doctors, the medical infrastructure terms dis-ease, is actually the divine intelligence coming into play to defend you. So instead of trying to attack that pain response, that effect with steroid shots, pain medication, and all of that, we go to the root. And you'll find there's a lot of people who have stories where once they changed their lifestyle, they changed the diet, they started moving more. Movement equals more synovial fluid, right? Which is that fluid in the joints, right? And they find that all of that was gone. And that you don't have to look forward to these kind of ailments once you reach a certain age. YouTube family, yes, that's me. Thank you. Great information. I'm 64 and suffer from arthritis. Yes, I trust that you gained a lot from this. Absolutely. Think worrying has caused a tremendous impact on my digestive system. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. All right. So yeah, I really trust that you're gonna apply all of this. You save the pictures and all of that. For those who want more in depth, one-on-one, I definitely suggest you schedule an iridology consultation with me. I only have virtual consultations right now. It's very simple. Once you schedule your consultation, then you're able to get the instructions on how to take your iris photos. You send it to my email. We get on a Zoom, and I let you lay out your blueprint. All right. You don't tell me anything. I tell you. And then we have a conversation about it. And it also ends up becoming an education as well. Okay. As far as me educating you on what's going on and the best methods for you. All right. So I really thank you all for your amazing attention, your amazing comments, and those someone that bought the badge. I really appreciate you all, for real, because this is information that that we all need to know. These are the secrets. that it really hasn't been kept, but a lot of us don't know where to look, don't even have the thought of, okay, well, arthritis is connected to and defense response, and not only the foods I eat, but the thoughts I'm thinking, and my digestive system, my liver, my pancreas. We don't think on that level. So now what all of that's connected to. So make sure you apply this. All right. Make sure that you share this with those that's dealing with arthritic conditions, even the teenagers who may be dealing with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. And I find that the rheumatoid arthritis is really heightened after receiving Jabberwockies. All right, we ain't gonna really go deep into that, but because I ain't even trying to, deal with Instagram and YouTube, but yeah. So y'all remain safe out there in a world full of intentional lies. All right. And again, we are responsible for ourselves. We're all responsible for each other. And that's why I'm constantly here to share and to share with you this information about your body. Tonight we touched on the arthrology system. Thank you all. Thank you all. I am tuned. I'm getting out of here, y'all. We had already. So I want to hear more about the liver. Yes, you definitely will. That's what we're going to be focusing on tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be focusing on the cholesterol myth. All right. Also, those who deal with what is called arthritis deal with also what is called high cholesterol. All right. So we're going to get into that as well. That's going to be tomorrow. All right. But thank you so much, family. I really appreciate it. Again, don't forget to use that paper plane at the bottom of the screen and share this live. All right. I'm out of here. Peace and power. All right, YouTube family. All right, here's my email. Email me. All right, even if you want to ask a question about the consultation, all right, email me there for your Juice Plus. All right, email me there for your Juice Plus and more information. All right, I trust that you enjoyed this live and absorbed the information. That's the most important thing. Thank you all so much, and until tomorrow, peace and power, family.